Hello and welcome to Yoga with Sarah Trapani. As always, I'm so grateful to have you here and great job stepping on your mat today. So here's a great general all levels practice for you. Stretch and strengthen the whole body. That's really the goal of every yoga practice, and keep yourself very mobile as you age. So without further ado, let's start on the back. One of my students just sent me a recent New York Times article about the relaxing benefits of laying on the ground for just a few moments to clear your mind, to relax your joints. And we'll start with constructive rest with the feet mat width distance. And we're going to rest the hands on the body, which is very centering, bringing you into your body and out of your monkey mind, that endless sort of chatter of your mind where all the energy kind of buzzes up in the brain area and in the skull. And as we relax on the back, we imagine that frenetic buzzing energy of the brain to start to flow down through the rest of the body, out through the fingers and toes to create more of a balance. And you start to tune into the flow of your breath in and out of your nose. And give yourself permission to be fully present today. Take a few slow circles with your lower jaw, letting go of any clenching in the teeth. And slowly bring the soles of feet together. Let your knees splay open just for a couple breaths. Set your intention for practice today. What do you want to cultivate here in this time on your mat? Let that intention help inspire your effort today. We'll squeeze the knees in and gently hug both knees in toward your body and give a hug. Rock and massage your back and spine. And then go ahead and cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh and thread the needle coming into figure 4 pose, slipping your hands in the left knee crease or the front of the shin. Lightly flex your feet and press your right lower back into the ground. Gently rocking can help loosen up your hips. And always returning to your breath and a sense of steadiness and ease in your effort. That's what brings a quality of meditation to your practice, is being connected to the breath and approaching the practice with a steady and peaceful and calm approach. And we'll hug the legs a little closer in, uncross, come into figure 4 on the other side, left ankle on top of right thigh, thread the needle, hands in the knee crease or the front of the shin, and press that left knee away. A light flex in the feet to shift the opening more into the hip and out of the knee joint on that left side. A little rocking is welcome, and returning to the breath. And then uncross. We're going to open the legs out into a big V, pressing the heels open away from your hips in a V shape. And then we're going to roll both toes to the right and lift your left hip and sweep your left belly over to the right and lay on your right arm and reach your left arm up overhead, interlacing your fingers, tracking your left wrist away from your left heel. Breathing through that left side seam, softening your left neck. Nice stretch for that left arm and shoulder and the side of the rib, down into the hip, lower back. And slowly keeping the hands interlaced, drop that left lower back down and interlace the awkward finger on top. And we're going to turn toes to the left, pick up that right hip, roll it on top of the left, and then pull that left hand and wrist away from the right heel. And inhale all along that right side waist, down into the right arch of the foot. And then exhale, drop back of head resting. Take your arms into a cactus and then glide the arms down alongside the body. We're going to bring the soles of feet together, knees open again. And then take your hands right on tops of the thighs, give a little press. Then we're going to roll that right knee over to the left and extend your right toe away from the hip. And then bring that right heel back to center. And then roll that left knee over on top of the left and extend that left heel out straight. And then come back to center. And then cross either ankle on top and we'll roll right up to sit. Sitting tall through the crown of the head with the hands on front of the shins, aligning the nose right over the belly button. When you inhale, lift up your chest, look up. When you exhale, bring your heels a little closer toward your sitting bones and walk your fingertips forward toward the front of your mat. Walking those fingers toward the front of your mat, drop your chin toward your chest and breathe into the back ribs. And gently lift the gaze between the thumbs and roll over the knees. Come into your tabletop position, finding all fours. Take your feet flat. On your inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze, look up. On your exhale, press through the heels of the hands, scoop the tail and round. Then when you inhale to drop your belly and fan the sitting bones up, tuck your toes, send the hips back and slide the hands away from your knees and continue to look between your thumbs. Then lift your belly and wave to a modified plank, shoulders right over the palms. And when you exhale, come back hips to heels. Look toward your belly, come up to tented fingers, Hasta Bandha. And then we'll lift the belly and lightly step that right foot through, right between the hands. Take the top of your left foot flat and pause there, letting the inner thighs scissor apart. Allow that top of the left foot to rest and just look forward in a neutral way. And then go ahead and tuck your left toes, lift your left thigh. We're going to spin the left heel down. And then gathering your belly, start to straighten your right leg all the way. And take your left hand onto your back. And continue to look down at your right foot and take that version of triangle pose that's nice and easy on the neck. Focusing on the way the feet connect to the earth. Reach your left fingertips alongside the ear, away from that left hip point. Inhale, and then exhale, release your hands to frame that front foot. Swing the left heel over the toes. Scooch that left knee back. Bring the left knee down. Keep the back toes tucked and let the inner thighs move apart. Then we're going to sit back and sit right on your left heel. Back toes are tucked. Sit up tall, bring your hands to heart center. Draw your belly in. Press your palms together. And then we're going to glide forward with the right knee over the heel and interlace your hands back behind your head. Open your elbows. Look up on the inhale. And then exhale. Bring your hands back to heart center. And then straighten that right leg all the way. Sit toward that left heel. And then we're going to turn the left toes toward the lengthwise side of your mat. Press through the outside edge of your right foot. And then lift up into a gatekeeper pose with your left fingertips on the ground, or your left hand can be on that left calf. And then your right arm is going to reach alongside the ear, and you're going to look down at your left hand. And we're going to inhale, and then we're going to exhale. Walk your hands toward the lengthwise side of your mat, then turn your right toes to point straight ahead. Bend the right knee over the heel. Lift your left thigh and take a big step back into downward facing dog. We're going to pedal out the feet. Inhaling and exhaling, let it out. Slowly come down onto your knees. Send your hips toward your heels. Tented fingers. Hasta Bandha, lift your belly. Slide your left foot through. Hands framing that front foot. Take the top of your right foot flat. And let the inner thighs scissor apart, looking forward. Couple breaths there just to allow that stretch of the inner thigh psoas. Shoulder blades gliding down the back. Exhale pulls the belly in toward the spine. And then we're going to tuck the right toes underneath, lift that right thigh and spin that right heel down. We're going to straighten the left leg. Left fingertips are on the outside of your left heel, or they could be on your ankle. We're just mindful that we're not hyperextending that left knee. Another option would be to have your left hand on a yoga block. We're going to find the warmth of the right hand right on the sacrum and give it a press. And then look down at your left foot, and we'll take this moderate version of triangle pose. Right hip point rolls forward and down. Breathing there. Inhale. And then as you exhale, we're going to bend that left knee, swing the right heel over the toes, drop that right knee down, then start to send that right heel back. Toes are tucked. We're going to sit on the right heel. So we want to keep that right knee a little micro bent. This is really tough on that right foot. If it's too much, you can always just stay standing up on that right knee or stay in the lunge until we come back. Then bring your hands to heart center, sit up tall, and then start to slide back forward and reach the hands back behind you. Interlace the non-habitual finger on top and open your elbows. Use your hands to lift the back of the head. And we're going to look up on the inhale. Exhale, start to bring the hands through heart center. Sit back, right sitting bone toward that right heel. And we're going to pivot the right toes so that your right sole of the foot is now facing the lengthwise side of your mat. And then spin the outer left heel down, planting through your right hand, lift the hips, come into gatekeeper on this side with the right hand under the shoulder. Spiral that left bicep in toward the ear and reach long along the left side body. And we'll inhale, then we'll exhale. Walk the hands toward that lengthwise side of your mat and then toward your left toes. Point your left toes straight ahead. So now we're back in our low runner's lunge. Now lift your right thigh and plant your palms and take a big step back to downward dog. Inhale, exhale, let it out. Press your heels toward the ground. And come forward into a gentle plank. We're going to swing the ankles underneath and bring the legs around. Feet are on the floor, about hip width distance. Lift your toes, lift your heels, and zip your big toes together. Drop your shoulders, and then release your shins. Thumbs up, half boat pose, Ardha Hanumanasana. You can rotate, palms up. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, lower the heels. Extend your legs out. Reach for your toes, Paschimottanasana. If you're unable to get your toes, you can take your ankles or your shins, and then we'll fold in that stretch for the whole back body, from the heels to the back of the head. Inhale expands the back ribs. Exhale moves you into the pose a little more. Then belly in, dropping the tail, come on up. Sit up tall. And then we're going to slowly make our way on to the back, drifting your palms up, using your core. Make your way down. Arriving on your back with your legs extended out, palms facing up. Drag one shoulder at a time underneath your back so that the collarbones are really broad and open. Now, light flex of the feet, hug your right knee in for a squeeze. And then press your right heel toward the ceiling for that hamstring stretch, reaching for the calf or the toes. Drawing that right leg closer toward the body as you let your left thigh bone drop down. Rest the area between the shoulder blades quite a bit. Breathing on the inhale, the belly expands. Exhale, we're going to release that right heel slowly out and take the arms overhead. As you inhale and exhale, gently draw that left knee in for a squeeze. Right inner thigh spiraling down. Left heel pressing straight up, hands behind thigh bone, calf, ankle, or catching the toes. And as you press that right heel away from the hip, we draw that left leg a little closer. And can we think of returning to your breath, returning to your intention, a sense of steadiness, sense of calm. One more inhale. Exhale, belly in, extend that left heel out, reach your arms overhead. We're going to inhale, stretch long. We're going to exhale, extend both feet up toward the ceiling. Lift your head, reach for your toes. Try to touch your toes or your shins. Look at your tail. And then let your head fall back. Feet on the floor. Slide your feet a little further away from your hips and let your knees knock in for this constructive rest version of Shavasana. We're going to let the palms face up alongside the body, just to get kind of open in the upper body and chest. Really broaden the collarbones. Tune into the space of the inhale, flowing through all the joints, and the long, slow exhale, allowing you to soften and release. We want to feel a softness and an ease in the inner thigh groins as the thigh bones drop right into the pelvis. Observing openly the flow of thoughts without trying to change anything. Allow everything to be as it is. The flow of thoughts, the flow of the systems of your body. And may you invite a compassion and a tenderness for whatever you observe. And asking your body to please heal and balance itself. Remembering your intention for practice and inviting gratitude today for anything you have to be grateful for. We're going to start to slowly windshield wiper your knees. Imagine the whole body resetting or restarting. And then take your time to hug your knees and give yourself a little squeeze, a little hug, rock and roll side to side. And then slowly roll to either side. And when you're ready, gently press up to sit. Arriving again in a tall, upright seat, any comfortable seat that works for you, and thanking yourself for showing up and resting your hands gently on your body. And I'm wishing you joy, peace, health, strength, courage, and always trust on the journey. Namaste. Great job getting on your mat today, and I'm appreciative of you being a part of my YouTube community. So please subscribe to my channel, drop me a comment, and you can even hit that super thanks button to support me. That is particularly appreciated. And I'll see you next time. Until then, take care.